Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for my client Lewis's vlog, and he is continuing his cut. Again, everything's just kind of going as scheduled. He's like, well, my cut's slowing down, but I'm like, yeah, that happens, that's normal. So he's going to reduce calories a little more. We're only going to do this another couple of weeks, and then he's going to work on just, nice lean bulking. And again, as I've said in the other things, I am fully aware he doesn't have enough base to cut, but he's been unhappy with his body fat. He kind of overbulked with some stuff early on, particularly when he was outside of coaching, when he was in recovery from surgery and other stuff. And so, it's stuff that we need to deal with. He wants to be at a healthier body fat, but I think we can tell here he's cut down substantially. All right, he's cut down substantially, and again, we can tell in these with the upper body workouts. When you see the tighter shirt and everything, you realize he's lost a lot of body fat. So coming up here soon, as soon as he kind of reaches his target weight, and we're hoping within the next 2 weeks, he'll start slowly bringing the food back up, increase protein, and just work on a nice clean bulk for a year or two. And that's hopefully the idea. So we're keeping his training basic, and I've taken away the max effort stuff, taken away all the conjugate, and now we're just working basic movements, working on reps in reserve with them, trying to take most sets to about 1 rep in reserve, mostly around 10 rep sets, although the deadlifts we're doing about 5, because again, it lends itself better to slightly heavier lifting, and we do less of it. So for those curious, I don't have most of my people do volume deadlifting who aren't doing speed pulls. So even if we're going to do a phase like this, that's more or less what we do. So what is he doing for lifts? Very straightforward, right? These lifts are very straightforward on upper body day. Pause benching with a pause, incline benching with a pause. We're doing barbell rows, we're doing dumbbell rows, although he may be strong enough to do chin-ups or pull-ups. Then we're doing some arm work. And then, of course, now I've had him adding in pullovers. And again, pullovers, I feel like these help with building people's ability to do pull-ups. Now, this is his first time doing them, so be a little forgiving, guys. He's not dropping the hips down and stuff. And again, I think most of us realize he's trying to do them the way he's doing them. As soon as that plate gets heavy, it's going to be a problem. You got to be able to drop those hips to shift that center of gravity and to put a deeper stretch. Right, it'll let us get a deeper stretch there due to the torso angles. So, again, stuff that he can work on over time. All right, curls. I'd like him to lock these out a little better. There we go. Some of the reps he does, like right there he is. That's a big issue with curls, and this is I found in my experience, observations over the years. This is one reason a lot of guys struggle sometimes with arm development, even myself included. We don't work the biceps enough when we do curls. People have a habit of skipping the bottom, and that's almost its own topic because it hurts. It's hard. We can't lift as much weight if we lock all the way down at the bottom. But that's also where the muscles put in the lengthened position. Most of the data kind of suggests that that's ideal. One thing on his deadlift here, we've run into some minor stuff where he feels his form is breaking down. I think most of the big lifters who are looking at this realize what's wrong right now. The knees and toes are turned in too much, right? Notice his knees caving in so he can clear the knees with the bar. He needs to turn his feet out a little more, right? He needs to turn his feet out. We're doing a narrow stance because he's not a fat guy, so he can do narrow stance. So the toes need to come out, right? So that the bar can clear the knees. Otherwise, we'll fishing pole it and round the back too much trying to clear the knees because the bar will have to drift too far forward. That's not really ideal. All right, for lower body, we only do about 4 exercises. What do? We do squats, we do deadlifts, we do good mornings, and we do hanging leg raises. Very straightforward. It's effective. I mean, even for me, what do you guys see me doing? Squatting, deadlifts of some type, usually regular deficit. Sometimes pause squats, sometimes not. RDLs, and then I'm doing hanging leg raises. All right? Doing hanging leg raises. Again, I'm a fan of the hanging leg raise. And I'm more of a fan of when people are strong enough to hold onto a bar, they have the shoulder health to hang from a bar. That's even better. All right? which you guys have seen my lifter Michelle do tons of. I'm finally able to start doing that with my own shoulder health and stuff. So that's something I'd like to take him to eventually too. I argue that's one of my favorite ab exercises. Do I like standing band crunches? Yes. Do I like crunches with plates? Yes, I like all those things. But the leg raise is just, it's a really nice exercise because it gives us some ability to bring other stuff to the table, right? It becomes a body weight movement. We can hang, we can get grip training. It can help with shoulder mobility because we're getting some hanging in. And because we swing forward on it, right, it can work some mobility stuff a little different in that shoulder. Again, these are things that will carry over to our ability to do pull-ups, right? So I think these are some good movements. So some of these movements that help with just our core and shoulder and everything else are actually really great for improving our pull-ups, pullovers, the hanging leg raises, right? They're all things that work great together. Things that work great together. But otherwise, yeah, his lifts are the same throughout the week. This is obviously the third and the fourth workout being shown here for the week. I don't change things up. All right, in his case right now, I'm not even worried about, hey, we need the heavy sets and then the top sets. Like, no, let's just get in, just do your volume. Just work on it while you cut. Let's focus on body composition, and then we'll worry about getting that neural drive and strength up a lot more again once he's able to eat. But right now, because we've dealt with fatigue, we deal with some stress, some psychological stress related around the performance while he's cutting, we pull that out. You know, and that's the thing. People will talk about, but Jason, you say X or Y or Z, it really has benefits, so why don't we always do all these methods all the time? And it's very simple, because psychology matters. The mindset of your lifters matters. You can't just hand people templates and say, I think this is physically optimal. You've got to make it work inside their mindset. Because if psychologically there's any hang-ups or things that mess with it, guess what? Your perfect workout template won't work. By that same token, you know, what would be optimal, so again, we come over to what's optimal gains. People don't have optimal lives for gains. People don't have optimal lives. They have stressors. They have other stuff going on. So we don't worry always about what's optimal. We also need to worry about what can people recover from, what can they handle, what can they psychologically handle with all the other things going on in their lives. We're human beings. We are not robots. So remember that, coaches. All your lifters are people. They're not machines. You have to think about those things. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.